In the article, Nursing Home Abuse Guide, published in 2019, almost 1 out of every 10 elderly individuals will experience some type of abuse in their life. There are many types of abuse, and the perpetrator is not always a caregiver, but could also be a family member. Today, I would like to inform you of elderly abuse and how you can stop it. One of the biggest perceptions that deal with abuse of the elderly is that the majority of abuse occurs in nursing homes by healthcare workers. In the article, 11 Facts About Elderly Abuse, published in 2014, passive neglect is a form of abuse in which a caregiver neglects to provide the victim with basic needs such as food, shelter, clothing, and medical care. This normally occurs because the caregiver is given a lot of patients and they don't have a lot of time to get through all of their patients and give them the proper care. So they speed through all of their patients, and while they're doing that, they're abusing the patients because they're not taking the time to properly do each step. Abuse does not always occur in a nursing home. It could also occur in the elderly's own home by a family member. According to the article, Elder Abuse Facts, published in 2019, in almost 60% of elder abuse and neglect incidents, the perpetrator is a family member. Family members will take advantage of their elderly family members, such as their financial records, money, their land, their home, basically anything that's of value to them, because the family thinks that the elderly person is not going to notice or they're not going to care, but they shouldn't be doing that because they're abusing the elderly family member, whether they know it or not. This is often a result of the family member taking on too big of a role and they just can't handle it. They just get really frustrated, or they just take advantage of the elderly family member, or they weren't properly changed, so the care that they're giving their family member isn't proper care, so they're abusing them. When we think of abuse, our brains automatically assume something physical is being done, but also this could be abuse verbally. So when I was doing my clinical rotations to get my certification to become a CNA, we went to a lot of nursing homes, and when we followed some of the CNAs that were working there, they were abusing the patients, and one of the people that I followed, she was changing this lady's diaper, and she did it right the first time and everything, but when she put on the first diaper, she also doubled the diaper, like she put on a second one. We asked her why she did that, and she said, well, because we have too many patients, not enough time to get all the proper care done, so we don't always do the steps like we're supposed to. So what she would do is when she had to come in to change the lady's diaper the second time, she would take the diaper that was dirtied off, and she wouldn't wipe the lady down or anything. She would just use a second diaper that had already been placed over the first one and just Velcro it back together. So this is an example of physical abuse because the patient could result in sores, and it increases their infection, which could lead to death because they are in a nursing home, and being around a lot of infections can increase their chances of death. Also, they would use foul language, call them names. They would be really rough with them when they're getting them dressed. These are all examples of verbally abusing the patient. In the article AEAAC, published in 2019, it discusses how this man's niece moves in with him because she wants to help him out. He can't care for himself very well anymore, so she moves in to help him. And she tries to be nice and really patient with him at first, but over time she just gets really frustrated and the load just becomes too much and she just gets really mean. So sometimes, like, if he gets in her way, she'll like push him out of the way and he'll like tumble down and he'll get like bruises all over him. Or one time she got really frustrated and she like no longer wanted to help him with his personal hygiene. So while he was on the toilet, she pushed him off the toilet and left him with a shattered hip and a bleeding head. There are many ways we can help these elderly people from being a victim of abuse. For example, making sure they are provided with the knowledge to keep their financial records private, or to make sure that they're not just giving them around to random people that try to tell them that they're helping them when really they're not, even if it is a family member. Also, we should be on the lookout for signs of abuse, such as bruises, unexplained withdrawal from normal activities, personal hygiene, or changes in mood. If you think someone is being abused, you should make sure to report it and get that elderly person the help that they need. There are many different types of abuse, and the perpetrator could be a caregiver or a family member. Abuse is not always physical, but it also could be verbal, and this could lead the elderly person to being in some serious problems. In order to lessen statistics of elderly abuse, be on the lookout for signs of abuse and report it so that they can get help. Thank you.
Very good.
Everybody.